Hey everyone, and we're finally around to the Mage guide. Now, this one in particular might be the shortest guide because it's mostly about the build. Just spend time speaking on different builds, different options you have there. And then maybe I'll cover the wand crafting and how spells work and the abilities. And then like the playthrough last level because it's all how you play is dependent upon the builds, which we're going to discuss right now. Stat wise, you want really as much magic as possible. So green magic is required. Intelligent is great. Like give you as much magic as you can. Otherwise, attack and HP. You don't need any dexterity, of course. So get some attack if you're taking the mana regen. Attack can be good, and HP is always okay. Your secondary trait, there's not really much for magic trait-wise. So defensive is okay, healthy is okay, aggressive, potion brewer, gatherer, even a lockmaster. You can get a little bit of bonus out of the golden chest from the paladin equipment, but it's not required. The secondary trait isn't really that important. Mostly you want green magic. Probably intelligent, get as much magic as you can, and extra health never hurts, so something like this would be fine. Extra attack, magic, and health. A lot of extra health here. Now, talking about the races, the main part. Main thing about being mage. So races, peon, basic dude, not very special. Noble does get 1 point in magic, and a little extra help chopping wood with a stone axe. He's alright, you get him early on, after slaying 15 monsters. Not too hard to get, well, only 20% chance, but not too hard to get, a little extra bonus magic. Orclops, nothing there for magic. Same with the Dwelf and the Crusader. Remnant is a big magic character. He gets +4 magic, and he starts with a wand, which is very rare. Starts with a Thunder Wand, not necessarily the best spell. It is kind of a balance between the potential efficiency of the Ice Wand and the effectiveness of the Thunder Wand or the Fire Wand. So it's an alright wand. He gets +4 magic for that. Trogon, of course, not really. I mean, he gets a mana potion, but such a silly character. Like, what a silly character. Earthkin, generalist all around. He's okay, whatever. Big Folk's the best. Quelaag, Quelaag's a little interesting. He gets extra attack and dexterity, which, attack can help a little bit if you need to not use your magic for whatever reason. But he does start with a bug net, so he can start making whatever wand he wants to kind of quickly. It's not a big deal, though. Bug nets aren't hard to come by. That's just something to note. The Quelaag can't do magic. He starts the bug net. It's an option. It does help. Bandicoot has Ring of Balance, helps his magic a little bit, but he's not a big mage character. Jin is a huge one. If you can manage to unlock him, he's also incredibly difficult to unlock. He's even harder now to unlock because of some of the changes made to the game since when I did him. But he starts with a very powerful melee weapon. And a very powerful, and the Fire Wand, just a very effective, straightforward wand. He's one of the best magic characters. He's just super hard to unlock. If you have him, go ahead, go to town. Lizardman gets a small magic bonus, not really a big deal. Scourgeling has a big magic bonus, starts with a zombie wand, which isn't too bad, it's alright. It's fun, for sure, it's definitely fun. And then the Spirit, because he's so powerful, extra 5 attack and a huge attack bonus, he's just good at everything. Especially if you want to do a magic melee hybrid. So that is it. Jin number 1 if you can get him. If you don't have him, Scourgeling's pretty good too. Big magic bonus. Otherwise, Remnant, fine, even the Noble. Or I wouldn't really recommend Quelaag. He's a little bit funny. I'd say like Jin, Scourgeling, Remnant, and maybe not even the Noble. Only 1 magic and 1 HP. Maybe because then the Bandicoot would get the extra magic from the Ring of Balance. So the Bandicoot actually would just be better, even just straight better than Noble. Kind of funny, but that's just how good the Bandicoot can be. And we're going to start the peon. We're going to go through the peon, of course, for the guide. I would do the girl this time. Hat-wise, there's several options here for the mage, actually. You have the basic magician hat, chance to gain stats on level up. Of course, your mobility hats that you're probably not going to take, because you also have the wizard beard. Spells have a 66 chance not consuming any mana, so only a third of your spells actually take a mana. So this is one of your choices, because big part of this, playing the mage, is that your natural mana regeneration is really bad. It can't keep up. If you're sparing spells, it's not going to be able to keep up. So you need a way to handle that, and Wizard Beard is one way to compensate for that. Next is the Frost Crown. A little bit of HP when you're regenerating mana. I'm pretty sure it only occurs on your natural mana regeneration, not any bonus that you might get from mana potions or the Gorgon Eye that we'll talk about later. So it's okay, a little bit more little more defensive. It's alright. It's not my favorite. I'll recommend either Wizard Beard or Magician Hat. Kind of combo depending on what companion you take. Because the companion is a huge part. Regen Fairy okay, Ancient Bat okay, Haste Speed okay, Movement, give you junk, Gadget Guard attack. These guys let you fly, but the big deal here is Gorgon-Eye or Flame of Hope. Gorgon-Eye, 1 mana every 1.5 seconds, gives you a huge bonus to your mana regeneration, and really solves your mana problem. So, Gorgon-Eye, you either need to have this, or the Flame of Hope, because the Flame of Hope is overpowered and gives you a huge amount of magic, but does not recover your mana. It doesn't give you mana every time you level up, because, you know, your max grows, but it does not regenerate it. So you either need to choose the Flame of Hope for power, and then take the Wizard Beard for mana sustain, or you can take the Gorgon-Eye for your mana sustain and take the Magician Hat for your power. Third option is you go Magician Hat, Flame of Hope, get super high magic, and then rely on getting the Clairvoyance Mage skill, which regenerates your mana rapidly, and that will also solve your mana problems, but you're not guaranteed to get that. So only do that if you're prepared to do adjust your run mid-run. If you're doing Mage only, and you try that, if you take the Mage Hat and the Flame of Hope, you might not get Clairvoyance, you'll have mana problems. You can make mana potions, but those are pretty crummy. You can't rely on mana potions. So you might end up in a situation in which you have to go from pure magic to a hybrid magic melee, or magic archery, which no one ever does, because it's not very good. So you have to be prepared to not go full mage, or just just be like, oh well, I guess I'm not going to win this run. So I'd recommend, if you want to be brave, go ahead and take the Flame of Hope, Mage Hat, get super strong, go big Clairvoyance. Otherwise, I would recommend the Flame of Hope and the Wizard Beard, just because the Flame of Hope is so strong, and cutting how many spells actually cost mana by into 1/3, that should be enough to keep going. And then you can, at that point, with the Wizard Beard, mana potions actually can't help, because you drain your mana if you get unlucky on the rolls and drain some mana, you can use the potions to get it back up. So I'd recommend Wizard Beard, Flame of Hope, or if you want to be brave, Flame of Hope, Magician's Hat. For this run, I'm just going to take a Magician Hat. And then that's how you go through. Talk about the minutia a little bit, but that's the most important part of playing the Mage, is just how you build your character at the beginning. Alright, real quick for the crafting. It takes 2 spiderwebs, you can get spiderwebs, or it takes 4 spiderwebs. You can get spiderwebs from spiders, or also from the tufts of grass that you can see laying around. They'll usually give you herbs, they can also give you spiderwebs sometimes. You put the webs together, make a string, you put the strings together, you get a net, put the net with a stick, you get a bug net. You take that bug net, and these are the bugs you catch to make your magic. Just swing at it, catch it, takes 2 bugs, make a gem, mash the bugs together, you get a gem 1. There are only gem 1s, there's nothing beyond that, it's just gem 1. I don't know if Sean intended to make higher level gems or what, but they're all just gem 1, they all do the same thing. Find the stick, and it gives you the spell associated with that element. So firebugs give you fireball, fire wands, thunderbugs give you thunder wands, and then the ice bugs put together get you an ice wand. A quick note about the other magical weapon that you can create, the legendary swords. What you do, you take your bugs, smash them to a gem, then you can put the gem to a Zweihander, specifically and only a Zweihander. We'll make a Thunderbrand, Firebrand, or Icebrand, depending on what gem you put in there. And these act same as the wands, however they give you a lot of extra attack, a little bit extra magic, and then they cast the spells when you swing them. Now they swing much more slowly, of course, and give you a little bit extra magic, do a little bit more damage with the spell. I tend to save these for magic melee hybrids, or even just melee characters, and just have the magic as a bonus. When I'm doing a pure mage, I tend to stick to the regular wands, because they cast much faster, and you lose a little bit of magic for the brand bonus, but if you have a high enough magic, then the increased attack speed's a much greater increase in DPS. So I'd save the brands for maybe if you have to go to a hybrid, or if you're just doing melee, use the brands for that. For pure mage, I would actually recommend using just the wands instead. Make your mage armor, you get some refined bars of whatever it is you make. You need pelts, mash your pelts together, get 3 cloths, you then talk to this nice lady. Put your ore into the cloth, your bars into the cloth, and I'll make you your mage armor, give you bonus to magic. Pelts, now you can go to the Veld. The Veld is the best place to get pelts. You can get tons of pelt going to the Veld. I would recommend going to the Veld at least once or twice as Mage to get a bunch of pelt so you can make your armor. If you don't, you might run short on pelt and you might need to skip iron armor or even gold armor and get up to your diamond mage armor. But if you ever need pelt, just go to the Veld and then you can get pelt there. Make your armor with. Alright, so your 3 different wand types: Fire Wand, Thunder Wand, and Ice Wand. Your Fire Wand shoots fireballs straight ahead on the horizontal. Your Thunder Wand summons a thunderbolt down on the vertical. Your Ice Wand has these cool icicles floating around you. Your primary weapon, assuming you have competent mana regen, will be the Fire Wand. Shoots out 1 fireball, dealing whatever magic damage you have. And you can spam this thing pretty hard, as long as you have your mana regen. And then also there's a way to interrupt your... Oh, I gotta keep in mind the fireballs go forever. So if you're just spamming them out like that, you're gonna be killing monsters. You interrupt your cast with a melee swing. Yeah, you can get it. So you can shoot your fireballs slightly faster. A little tricky to do sometimes. Yeah, if you get rhythm, it helps a lot. So you'd be using this if you have mana regen to be your primary spell. And in fact, it will likely be the only spell you need. You can sustain it. Otherwise, you have the Thunder Wand, which goes straight up and down. You have to, but you don't have to. You can get right next to the enemies to use it, but it's much easier to use it just on platforms above or below enemies. Either if they're on the platform, you get below them. If they're below the platform, you get above them. And you just cast them. You can also, of course, just jump over them or stand really, really close to them, which is kind of risky. It stays there for a second, so if I see this jellyfish, you'll move into it if we back off. The Thunder Wand, because it can hit multiple enemies, a little more efficient than the Fire Wand, because you hit multiple enemies with 1 spell. And then the Ice Wand can be very efficient, not necessarily so effective, so it costs a little bit of mana to cast, more than the other spells, and it only does about half of your magic damage. But you can see the icicles persist. It can kill multiple enemies with a single cast, even though you have to get very close to them to do so. So the ice spell is much more efficient, not as much raw damage, and the fire spell, bad jump. Fire spell, you can shoot out a bunch of fireballs, can give you the most raw damage, but it's not necessarily as mana efficient. If you're running into mana troubles, that would be a bit of a problem. Speaking of mana, we have some mage abilities here. The eyeball there is Clairvoyance. That's the big one. The big one you want, particularly if you're going a risky build doesn't have mana regen. You'll need Clairvoyance to sustain your spells. The eyeball, you just activate it and it gives you a big refill of mana. Sword there is magic weapons. We activate that and it adds our magic stat to our attack stat. A lot of bonus damage. It's really good for hybrid characters, mage, warrior hybrids. Then I also have this really fun one. We get a levitate. This lets you fly, obviously. It's kind of more gimmicky than doesn't commonly come useful. Same with one of the other mage spells is the teleport. That very rarely actually comes into effect, but it is fun. It's a little gimmicky. Last one is the Wraith Ghost, which I fortunately did not get. But you put down a ghost who faces the same direction you're facing when you cast it. That's important. He shoots out basically fireballs straight ahead. They don't have the same art as fireball, but they do the same thing. They move straight ahead to enemies and deal your magic and damage. I should also mention really quickly these biscuits you can find in treasure chests, regular treasure chests. You can find them anywhere, even though they seem to show up a little bit more frequency later in the game. Eat them, they give you bonus magic and health, so of course you want to collect those cookies and eat them as much as you can wherever you find them as a mage. So going on to the final level, you'll of course want to sell everything you don't want and fill yourself up. Then also the shrooms, I should have mentioned this earlier, the mushrooms. Combine mushrooms together to make mana potions. Mana potions like a large mana potion. Big mana potion restores your mana. If you have clairvoyance or really any sustainable mana source, you don't need to worry about the mushrooms. You can just sell them whenever you find them. If you don't, the mushrooms can help you when you get low on mana. If you're using the ice and thunder spells effectively, you can use the mushrooms mana potions to replenish your mana if it's getting a little bit low. If you're spamming fireballs, your mana is not going to last very long at all, and then you can use some mana potions to get up, a few more fireballs out, but fireball really drains your mana without clairvoyance or Gorgon Eye or what have you. So you can, if you need to use them, use them efficiently. You use your mana efficiently, then the mushrooms can help give you a little bit of bump. If you're just spamming away, they're not going to help too much. Without something to help them along, clairvoyance or whatever. If you have clairvoyance, or whatever, Wizard Beard or Gorgonite, then mushrooms are kind of necessary. Otherwise, they're a supplement to an efficient mage. They're friends for an efficient mage only who doesn't have any other options for mana regen. Get our health up here. You know, we're not going to really use our diamond pickaxe stuff. You can, of course, mine the light shards like any other character, but it's not too important for you. One word on district order before we go into the Scourge layer. Early game, forests, like mostly, so you can get the spiders, get the spider webs, catch bugs, depending if you're a character that needs that. If you don't start with the wand that you want, or you're not a Quelaag who has a net, if you need to make a net and make a wand, go to the forest for the spider bugs for the spiders, and get your magical bugs. Note on the tundra, if you really want an ice wand, for whatever reason, the tundra tends to spawn lots of ice bugs. After that, you can go to I'd recommend the Velt in particular to get lots of pelts for your armor, and of course the cave as always for experience and potions. And then after that, whatever late game biomes you really feel comfortable in. There aren't any that have anything too in particular for the mage. Note that bugs do not spawn in the dungeon. Of course, the dungeon has lots of treasure chests in it, so wherever you feel comfortable going late game, dungeon, volcano, or crater. Now stepping into the final level, we're going to start spamming fireballs like crazy. Important to note that if you do not have ability to spam fireballs, it becomes much more difficult. If you can't spam fireballs, you can run around with your ice, use that a little bit, get above and in front of Scourge Mask's enemies, and try to hit them with your thunder. It becomes much trickier, as you can see, versus having your mana. This is why going in without mana regen, just hoping to get Clairvoyance is so risky, because if you don't get it, the game suddenly becomes much more difficult and changes the game a lot. And I really recommend at that point just kind of going in melee hybrid, because the last level in particular is much more difficult without the ability to spam your spells like crazy. If you have a Thunder Wand, the masks get above you. That's a perfect time to use your Thunder Wand. If you're just going Fireball only, then you just have to jump into them and shoot them. And just keep in mind that your Fireballs go forever, so keep shooting. You can just keep shooting. Fireballs go through walls and go through the entire level. So you can just keep shooting. Don't need to worry about them running out, or it might not hit anything. The level, elevation may change. It might not end up hitting anything, but still. If you have your mana regen, if you have your Clairvoyance, Wizard Beard, Gorgonite, whatever, you can't waste fireballs if you can sustain the mana drain is the spam. So just keep ABS, always be shooting. Very much like the archer way to go through the final level. And you shouldn't need to use unless you're specifically using the Ice Wand for its efficiency, or you're doing a melee build, the melee hybrid. The Ice Wand's actually pretty decent for melee hybrids. You shouldn't need to use your Ice spell. So once you clear a level to shooting your fireballs, you just turn around and basically do the same thing. Spam fireballs. No reason not to run towards the Scourge Man, even though the fireballs are going to reach him eventually anyway. There's no reason not to go up here and see how much damage you're actually doing, versus just sitting there and waiting for him to come to us. It'd be awfully silly. Not clear that worm, so it's kind of dangerous just jumping around like that. And like I said, the fireballs travel forever, so all these fireballs are going to hit him. We're already doing a ton of damage to Mr. Scourge 2, man. We haven't even seen him yet. Oh, here he is. We just keep spamming our fireballs away. He's not even, we're so far ahead, he's way up there. Spamming, and it's a pretty easy fight at this point, because you can shoot through walls, you can hang out wherever you need to in order to hit him. I say magic, as long as you can sustain your spells, magic's probably one of the easiest ways to fight the Scourge Man. If you need to use lightning, I wouldn't recommend it. You have to get real close to him and put it right in front of him so he runs into it. It's real difficult to do, and I've only done it a couple times, so I'd not recommend it. I did not summon Axelark. Well, this is how I kill Scourge Man. Let's see if we can kill Axelark real quick. Oh yeah, and also Ice Spell. Run up to him, you just kind of dip in and out, try to get some multiple hits with the icicles on him, and that's how you kill him with that spell. Now, I doubt we're going to be able to kill Axelark and the Scourge 2 Man. I forgot to summon him earlier. Let's try summon right now. You would fight him, oh gosh, basically the same way you fight the Broodmullers, or fight Axelark with any other character. You just run away and have them run to your spells. Try to do it in a place with some room. Oh my gosh, we really botched this. But that's fine. That's how you fight the. It doesn't change how you fight the Scourge Man. You saw what I was doing. You just keep doing that until he dies. It doesn't take long. Yeah, we might accidentally kill Scourge Man. Just fighting Axelark here if we survive. Fortunately, Axelark has a ton of health, so this might take a little bit. And this would be super impressive if we win. I don't see it going that way though. But you get the you get the idea. This is how you do it. I just didn't give myself enough time to actually demo it. Yeah. Oh, we killed the Scourge Man on accident. What did I say? And then we're fighting Axlark in the background. But you can see how it goes. You go back and forth, get them on the same level with you following you. Similar way to which you would fight the Broodmillers if you had a Fire Wand. I wouldn't recommend doing the Thunder or Ice Wand fighting Axlark. I also wouldn't recommend using those to fight the Scourge Man. I would recommend a melee weapon at that point, and that's another reason why you would go melee hybrid if you don't have the ability to sustain your fireballs. So that is the Mage guide. It's mostly dependent on what build you have. If you can if you take away to sustain your fireballs, and you don't have to worry about getting clairvoyance, then you just spam your fireballs like crazy. If you do get clairvoyance, great, you can spam even more. If you don't take away to sustain your mana, and you get clairvoyance, great, you can spam your fireballs. The final option is you don't take away to sustain your mana, and you get unlucky and don't get clairvoyance. Then you need to rethink how you either need to use your spells more efficiently, stick to more thunder or ice, and you also need to consider just going hybrid and then using that to kill the Scourger Man. Trying to sustain your fireballs with just mana potions pretty much impossible. And killing the Scourge Man with just thunder and ice, it's not at all impossible, but it's unnecessarily difficult. It's a challenge. You want to go in like that as your plan. So that is our Mage guide. Also, early on, stick to the forest, get spider webs, move on to Veldt and Cave, and then whatever you're comfortable with, really. There's not anywhere particular late game biomes that are particularly good for you as a mage, just wherever you feel most comfortable going. I hope you enjoyed the guide. Any questions, comments, whatever, of course, leave them down below. And thanks for watching. Leave a like, enjoy the video, subscribe for more following, Twitch, Twitter, like, guys, no deal, and I'll see you next time.